What's going on, guys? This is Joe Young coming at you another video for the week. It's been a while, guys. I know. But finally, I am back to my normal schedule, and I'm here to give you guys an update on what I actually picked up in terms of like probably the best deal I've ever gotten during Black Friday, fish related. And then the other thing was setting up some stuff for the 54-gallon reef tank. So I actually had a couple days during Thanksgiving break, and I decided to actually start, setting up some of the lights, the Radion lights for the 54-gallon tank. Even though I didn't get the second light yet, I went ahead and actually set up everything. I actually have one light on the sideline, so I went ahead and just actually put that in there for now. The tank's actually going to take some time to actually fully fill in, especially if I'm only getting one or two, bubble tip anemones here and there. So having one light for now is actually okay because I'm just going to skew the one light to one side, let the bubble tip anemone kind of grow on one side of the rock first, and then eventually get the other one when they multiply or whatever, and then I can put it on the other side of the rock. So removing the old LED was actually not that hard. The actual unit was pretty heavy itself, but I ended up using a few pieces that actually strung and hung the actual LED on the bar to the other one just because they didn't have anything. So I just kind of like customized it a little bit. The only real difficult thing was just kind of leveling the LED to make sure like the thing's actually leveled. For the most part, it took like maybe 30 minutes to set up everything, so it wasn't terrible. So over the weekend, I was browsing over some of the local reforms in terms of like corals and whatnot. I saw that they had a rose bubble tip anemone for a fairly, okay, decent price. Decided to go ahead and just kind of pick one up just because, the tank out here is actually pretty stable. This is actually going to be the first coral or life other than fish that's going into this tank. So the person was actually tearing down their whole reef system. It was actually a very nice large tank. Also noticed some turbo snails that were in his setup. Decided to pick up some of those turbo snails because obviously I have not been able to stock my tank with some additional algae eaters, and I figured the guy's already taking down his tank. I'm just go ahead and help him out and buy some of the stuff there. So I'm gonna give this anemone a few weeks to kind of adjust the parameter and establish itself into somewhere in the rock. It kind of just grabbed into one of these crevices on the pedestal, but I think it's going to end up moving around a lot just based on where the lighting is. So we'll give this guy a couple of weeks to see where he ends up at. Okay, so I want to share with you guys the best deal I found over Thanksgiving break that was related to fish. Now, it started with Thanksgiving lunch slash dinner over at my place. I invited my family over. We normally take turns hosting Thanksgiving. And my dad, was looking at some of my fish tank setups, and he was looking through the Ultimate Angel tank, and he was just like, "Wow, these guys are pretty cool. Um, you know, I kind of want to get into angelfish." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." I was like, "Did you want to get into Ultimate Angels or just angelfish in general, with colors, different patterns?" And my dad was like, "Oh no, not these guys specifically. I mean, they're nice, but I would like to have a variety of patterns, colors, and whatnot." Then my dad was like, "You know what? I kind of want to do it. Keep an eye out for some angelfish, either in the local pet store or somewhere for a good deal, and let me know, and I'll want to pick up some for my tank." So if you guys don't know, currently he has a 125-gallon freshwater tank with probably 3 plecos and a few kind of swordtails in there. And he wanted something kind of a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer that it would kind of grow into the size of the tank. As I was browsing through Facebook, I kind of remembered that there was a local angelfish breeder in my area, and so I was trying to look up the person and finally found the person, and noticed that they had a Black Friday deal. Now their Black Friday deal was absolutely insane. So under the assorted angelfish category, so this kind of just includes like koi's, black stripes, anything with random patterns. Their Black Friday deal was $1 an angelfish. Now, the angelfish size was about a dime to a nickel size. That's a pretty decent size, and for $1 each, you can't really beat it. So since it was so cheap, I decided to pick up about 20 angelfish for my dad's setup. Obviously, he probably will bring it down to maybe like 15 or so. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen in the future in terms of the fish growing. Some might catch diseases, some might die, some might not even make it through quarantine. So decided to kind of just get about 20, and then from there, my dad can kind of pick out which one he wants, and the ones he doesn't want, he can either sell it back to a local pet store or kind of give them away. So here's actually where it gets better. When I went over to pick up the fish, I talked to the owner slash breeder, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to update the website. we're actually out of stock in terms of the dime size and nickel size angelfish. But because you had already ordered, we have these quarter size angelfish that's in this tank, and I'll sell it to you at the same price, $1 each. And I was like, what? Really? And normally those go for like about $5 on his website each. And I was like, heck yeah. So on top of getting angelfish for only $1 each, I got them for the next size up, which is even better. So as you can see here, the angelfish looks amazing, top notch. A lot of them have different types of pattern, and this is exactly what my dad was looking for. Different types of pattern, different types of colors, blacks, silver, stripes, kois, anything kind of a mesh of angelfish together. So actually, these angelfish will go through quarantine about a month and a half to 2 months ish. In the meantime, I'll kind of monitor, make sure they're okay, eating well, and kind of just transitioning to some of the flakes, just because obviously they get fed different types of food from different owners. But I kind of want to transition them to flakes, make sure they eat, so that when I give them to my dad or put them in that tank, all he has to do is feed him, and all he has to do is his normal maintenance, and doesn't have to worry about the fish catching this disease, catching this disease. We'll kind of proactively treat all that so that he doesn't have to worry about that. So that's probably the best fish-related Black Friday deal that I've actually ever picked up so far. If you guys actually have any other Black Friday stories or deals that you guys actually got this year, please share them in the comments below. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure you guys subscribe. And like always, until next time, guys, peace.